والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
So what happens to Muslims now is they see advanced societies and say, they must have got something right. They're so smart. They have better roads than us. When you go to the Muslim world and you're looking for a trash can, good luck, right? When you're looking for a straight line at the grocery store so your turn can come next. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. When you're looking for indicating before you change lanes, lanes? What's that? I was in a few Muslim countries. We're on a highway and there's a guy in the middle lane on a bicycle going this way. And I'm like, is this normal? They're like, yeah. Welcome to the Ummah. So when you see nations that have law and order, they have, one interesting example. I was in Denmark, and in a small town, and by the coast they have farms. That's strawberry farms and vegetables or whatever. And the people who grow those vegetables, they sell them. You know how they sell them? They put them in a basket, small baskets, and they put a price, and they leave it in a shack, and it says, "Put money here." That's all. There's nobody there. And they've been running the business for 50 years. Some people come, put money, and they take. They come, put money, and they take. And I'm like, nah, we got to check registrations at the door. We got to, wait, where are you going? Did you pay? No, nothing. And we're like, why do these people have this high morality? We're supposed to have the religion, and they have this morality. I don't get it. You see? So this becomes a kind of a crisis for a lot of people, right? We're going to take a step-by-step approach to this. I want you to understand first, in today's introductory discussion, that kind of shirk that used to exist, it existed for one reason and one reason only. It existed because people want something. People want something from the religion. It's not about what the gods want. It's about what the people want. And if we give the God what he wants, then he will give us what we want. But the only reason we're going to this God or these gods is because we want something. It's consumer driven. It's worshiper driven. It's not God driven, it's consumer driven. And therefore, you come up with a God that is fitting to your wants. You want rain? Make a rain god. You want wealth? Make a wealth god. You want health? Make a health god. You want fertility? Make a fertility goddess. You understand that? So the religions started getting designed to fit the wants of the people. The actual God wasn't a god of fertility, wasn't Zeus, wasn't Archimedes, the real God was what people's own wants were. The real God was their hawa. وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى. That's the actual God. It looks like idols and temples and all this other stuff, but actually the source code behind all of this is actually what people want for themselves. Is that clear? Now, the dangerous part. Islam, like every other religion, is under attack. Christianity is under attack. Judaism is under attack. Hinduism is under attack. And of course, Islam is also under attack. We're not that special. Religion is under attack. And one of the ways the religion is being attacked is by atheism. Why do you have to believe in any of this? That's the most obvious attack. But there are other kinds of attacks. Why is this religion so focused on serving God? What about serving us? We need to think about Islam in a way that fits our preferences, our feelings, our sensibilities. And if the Quran or this religion is saying something that doesn't fit with what I want, then maybe it's time for a reinterpretation. Maybe it's time we need a new tafsir. Recently, I saw someone write a tafsir from a perspective. I met this person. She told me she wants to write a tafsir of the Quran from a female perspective. I was like, okay. Because the mufassirun were mostly men. I was like, have you heard of Bint Shafi? But okay, and it doesn't matter. Have you heard the tafsir of Aisha radiallahu anha? And it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, male perspective. So let's have a female perspective on tafsir. You know what? Maybe they can see something we don't see. It's true. And I've actually learned this also. There are ayat that have to do with women and they have to do with motherhood, have to do with infertility. When I was studying the ayat about, the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam and she couldn't have a child, she said, Ajuzun Aqim. I went and talked to a bunch of female, I went to counselors and psychologists and women that are infertile, and I read papers on infertility because I wanted to understand their perspective. When they hear this, what do they feel? What does a woman feel when she can't have a child? What does she go through? I want to understand what the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam was saying. Where was this coming from when she was speaking? I want to gain deeper perspective. So there is value in that perspective. No man can tell you what the mother of Maryam felt when she was putting, or the mother of Musa felt when she was putting the baby in the basket. But a mother can tell you. A mother can have tadabbur on that ayah that no mufassir can have. It's not possible. So she said, I want to write it from a female perspective. And then I read some of her work. I don't name names, you know that. So like, you're not going, who was it? No, doesn't matter. But she's like, the wife of the minister in the story of Yusuf, she's actually a hero. And yeah. And Adam alayhi salam is the one who messed up. Hawa is the one who's the hero. And this is what you mean by female perspective. Now I understand. The wife of Abu Lahab, not so bad. She's just carrying wood. Hamalat al-hatab. What's so bad about carrying wood? It's Abu Lahab that's the bad one. She's just because you carried, she's like doing groceries. What's so bad about that? And you know what that was? She wants to feel valued. But she's projecting her need to feel valued by overvaluing women in the Quran in a way that Allah did not do. And Allah values women plenty in the Quran, but you're now imposing your view on it. You understand? You know what that is? That's also in my view, that's also a kind of shirk. Because then your God isn't the God of the Quran, it is the God of your opinion. And it is even higher than the Quran for you. So you're making the Quran surrender to your theory. Then who's your ultimate God? What's beyond Sidratul Muntaha for you? Allah says, وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. The speech of Allah is the highest. It is in fact the highest. Does it sound like it? Does it sound like it when you theorize in this way to fit in a narrative? And this is the kind of shirk that I think is going to be the next shirk for the world. Every religion is modifying itself to fit to the new audience, right? The church made modifications about sexuality and gender identity so that they can be more inclusive. That's happening. The thing with our religion is it's pretty exclusive. Its message is, this is the truth. Allah loves all of humanity, but the truth is the truth. And sometimes there's tough love. Out of love for you, I can't bend the message for you. Now, coming to the ayat we're going to study tomorrow. We're getting to the next section. In this next section, what's going to happen? The first section that we just completed, I'll give you its overview tomorrow also. Remember, I was going to talk to you about structure also. The first section was about what the Prophet saw. What the Prophet saw. And what the Prophet understood. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The second section is going to be, so you doubt what he saw? What do you see? Okay, if his religion is false, tell me about yours. Let's hear from you. So Allah will say, أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ اللَّاتَ وَالْعُزَّى وَمَنَاةَ الثَّالِثَةَ الْأُخْرَى. And you have daughters, and God has daughters, but you have sons. And this is the last thing I'll share with you for today, sons and daughters. Sons carry the name. Sons become part of the manpower of the tribe. Remember the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam, nahnu usba. Daughters, they don't stay in the family. They're going to marry somebody else's family and they're going to give that family babies. That's what's going to happen. I'm talking purely from a tribal perspective. So you're going to raise your daughter, you're going to feed your daughter, you're going to take care of her, you're going to clothe her, and then she's going to give sons to some other family. So basically, daughters are a liability. In classical Jahiliyyah, daughters are a liability. By the way, that Jahiliyyah still exists in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Morocco, in Malaysia, and all over the world. Muslim world. Daughters are seen as a liability.